So happy to have Jon and Jennifer Althoff with us today from Plymouth, working in Eagan, but both are suburbs of Minneapolis, so joining us from Minnesota. Jon and Jennifer, hello. Thank you for being with us today. Jon, I thought it was entertaining the way you said you found Profile was you happened to go to a ribbon cutting ceremony. You just love the colors and the enthusiasm at the ribbon cutting ceremony for a new store.
It's true. I wasn't expecting it at all, but as you can see, I have my profile orange on today. I really was impressed by the brightness and newness of the store, and just that was the first thing that got me. And then the people that I met there, every one of them was just so courteous and professional and fun too.
Yeah.
And what I really liked, Marnie, was the technology. I'm a guy who likes data. I like to measure things, and besides the electronic scales tied into their app, they also have a body scanning system. So takes the guesswork out of your body measurements and that kind of thing. So I really was impressed by that.
That's Staiku. That is so cool to see your body dimensions like that.
It's the real deal. Absolutely.
So what brought you to a ribbon cutting ceremony in the first place? Were you looking for one?
I'm actually on the board of the Dakota County Regional Chamber of Commerce. And Profile is a member, and one of the membership benefits is to have a ribbon cutting to invite people in to learn a little bit more about your business. And I try to hit as many of those as I can. And it was just a few minutes away from where I work, so I stopped in, and like I said, I was just really impressed with how it worked. So that's how I ended up at the ribbon cutting. I kind of had a hint that I might be joining at some point because I was so impressed with it. I said, when I really get serious about trimming down, I probably should check these guys and gals out, and that's how I got back to it.
Interesting, almost as if it was meant to be. So it was March of 2020, which will ring a bell for a lot of people because March of 2020 is when a lot of the world changed because of the COVID pandemic. So is that the point when the light bulb went off, or you just kind of decided that was it for you, Jon? Was that date, March of 2020?
Marnie, it had nothing to do with that. This was I believe it was the first week of March. And at that point, we just thought there was some kind of a flu thing going around the country, right? And it would, kind of come and go, and it'd all be gone. We'd be back at it. So I had planned to go in at kind of a New Year's resolution that, as usual, I was just a little bit behind after the first of the year. But I finally got around and said, my friend's a Profile, I'm going to go, and I'm going to finally do the sign-up thing. And I think started talking in February, and then I went into March and got it kicked off. And boy, great timing though, Marnie, right? Because while a lot of the friends that I have, a lot of people that I know gained a lot of weight during the pandemic, I actually lost a lot of weight during the pandemic. Would not have been possible without my experience at Profile. So that's been a great experience.
And your daughter, Jennifer, is sitting there next to you. And Jennifer, Jon had said that you are just the healthy one by nature. Is that accurate?
I would say that we had a couple of breast cancer diagnoses. My older sisters, they were diagnosed at 30 in 2019, so before COVID. And I think it was a wake-up call for all of us, where we were just like, we gotta start figuring out like how we're gonna be healthy and really take charge of our health here. And so I think that was an opportunity for us, and I became really passionate about learning about health and what we could do to support our bodies. And so it all kind of worked together. Like we were kind of working on that journey, and then Dad pulled Profile in, and it was like a puzzle, and it just fit together really well.
So when your dad, in and around February, March 2020, when he kind of tells you about this place and he thinks he's going to join, did you, Jennifer, also look into it? Your immediate reaction, was it like, yeah, let's do it? Or were you like, hold on, Dad, I got to read up on this?
Honestly, I was like, I was really happy for him, and I said, I'm coming. I'm going to come to your meetings with you. And I'm just very thankful that he was generous enough, and all the coaches were generous enough to let me sit in on those meetings. But yeah, I jumped on board and learned everything I needed to in the first meeting with Profile. So it was A plus by me.
And you gave your dad the approval. He could go
ahead.
Okay.
Very quickly, yes.
Okay. So
because of the pandemic, a lot of our meetings initially were virtual, right? And
Sure.
so it made it real easy to do what we're doing right now. I'd sit here and I'd talk to my coach, and Jennifer would sit back there and she'd take great notes. And when I got done and said, I don't remember anything, she said, "Don't worry, Dad, I got it all written down."
What a good daughter, man.
Oh, yeah. The
So,
best.
immediately, was it a great fit and the weight came off, or was it a huge adjustment to just kind of figure it out? Like, take us through the first month or so.
Well, I had the benefit of not only Jennifer's support, but also my whole family, but also the pandemic itself. I mean, my world changed. In the trade show business, which is the company that I work with, trade shows literally stopped. I mean, they didn't like slow down, they stopped. And so on furlough, put on furlough. And so my whole life was just different. And so everything was a new routine. And so I just got into the profile routine very, very easily. And profile makes it easy because one of the two big reasons why I joined is that they don't have only profile food. In other words, I have a shake and a protein bar and a protein bar in the afternoon and a snack. And the rest of it's, normal, grocery or off the
Yes.
shelf food, healthy stuff. And so I really enjoyed that, but I got into the routine, and the pandemic allowed me to get into that routine a little bit because everything was new. And it was a relatively easy experience. The weight came off initially pretty fast. And then I had a foot injury in February of this year. So I ended up having to stop my walking. And really, I didn't do a lot of exercise other than I was religious about my walking. And I had to pull off that for 3 or 4 weeks. And that I saw my beautiful, nice decline stop and reverse. And normally, with other weight programs that I've been in, that would have been the death knell, right? Death knell. It would have been, oh my gosh, here I go again. I'm dropped and it's great. Now I'm going
Yeah.
to get it all
Yeah.
back. Not so. With profile, I ended up reversing the reversal, and that was a great feeling. And it was a slow bounce the rest of the way. It took me about 18 months to get to my goal weight, which was down a little over 40 pounds or 16% of my body weight. But that's just the way I wanted to lose it, which was slow
Slow
and
and steady.
relatively steady. Yeah, and I feel really good about it, and I've been able to hold, which has been really good.
And Jennifer, as you saw your dad going through this and being slow and steady, but being successful, what kind of changes did you see in him physically and mentally?
I think it was just the mindset shift that I saw in him, that he can do this and he can keep the weight off, and this is a sustainable lifestyle change instead of just, like hard and fast diets where it's just like nothing for 30 days and then back on, which I mean there's lots of ones out there, but it was a sustainable difference that it's like we can all do this. I mean, he's the profile member, but we all benefited from the lifestyle changes because we've all seen changes in our own lifestyles too. So I think that it was just the confidence that he gained in himself, and we all gained in the program and in the lifestyle change.
I do feel like when you have someone either in the house or in your family who's committed to it and just living a healthy lifestyle, it has that trickle down, either because you have a lot of healthy food in the house, so it's just kind of a no-brainer to also eat the healthy food, or you see the person having the success and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that too. But it sounds like, Jennifer, you were already there. So then you're watching your dad. So I'm wondering, your sisters, mom, aunts, neighbors, anyone, did other people did it trickle out to other people?
I would say it was definitely contagious, and I think a lot of that was because it had to be, because you eat what we make, and it's going to be lean proteins and vegetables and healthy food, or you don't eat at all unless you. So I think that it was one of those, especially like my husband. It's like, this is what we're eating tonight, like it was one of those things, and it's good food, so it's not like it's torture for anyone by any means.
Right.
And so it was a contagious shift, I would say, for all of us that we're thankful for.
And Jon, you have hit your goal weight. You are sustaining your goal weight.
Yep. I have a new goal now. I'm going to lose another 10. That's
Okay.
I said, you know what, I can do this, and I like to have goals and things in my life to strive for, and so I'm going to strive for another 10. So we're going
Why
to do
not?
it.
Why not?
My coach has said, let's do it. We're gonna go for it. So
Well, some of the numbers that you already shared with us, I just thought were so relevant, and not just because you gave us the weight number that initially you've lost the 42 pounds, which is awesome. 15 inches lost. I mean, you just think about your body and 15 inches of it.
but
And
I didn't lose the guns. I still got those. I just lost
I mean,
the
the screen is not even big enough, honestly, to do that justice. You
Marney, that's why you're the best.
the medication. So you were on some medications.
Yep.
2 of your doses have been cut in half.
Yep.
One is down 60%.
Yep.
That's significant.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and it's something that a lot of people miss. I'm on the Facebook page for Profile, which is a great supporting tool.
Mhm.
And I read a lot about people, and everybody's talking about, oh, my weight, I hit this, I'm down 50 pounds, I'm down 100 pounds. And I try to write back to as many of those people as I can and say, what does your blood work look like? Because the scale is easy to jump on, but what's the thing that's going to kill you or keep you alive is what your blood numbers look like. And I will tell you that I had a physical a number of months ago, and all my blood work was within range on all categories. That hadn't happened in a very, very long time, like probably a decade.
Mhm.
And that's important to me. Is so the weight is the scale is something easy to look at and check at, and the profile scale does body fat, muscle mass, all that kind of stuff, BMI, and that as well. But the big thing is you go into the doctors, you have your doctors look at it, and they're amazed. I mean, you go on this again, the Facebook profile page, and it's like doctors don't believe. Half of them don't believe it. It's like, how did you lose this weight? How did you do this? My favorite story, Jennie, is like my first doctor that I had years ago. I told him I wanted to get down to my college weight, and he said, "Well, what was your college weight?" And I said it was like 215, 220, and he said, "You're never going to get there. So don't beat yourself up. Just relax, and life will be." And I'm sitting there going, "Relax? What do you mean I can't get there?" And so I'm there. And that's been the great thing for me. But again, the weight's one thing, but the numbers, the blood work numbers are one of the most important things.
Yes, because that is real proof of your health. It's not just your weight, it's your health.
Right. There are a lot of thin people that low weight people that have bad numbers, right? And so their health is just not good. You have to put it all together. And that's one thing with Profile that I've been fortunate enough to be able to do, because the way they have you, the diet they recommend and the profile foods they have allow you to get in that range. And a lot of people on the Facebook page I know are having similar results, which is great.
Fantastic. Well, I can tell, because we've been friends a long time, about 20 minutes now, that you two have a really good relationship. But having gone through something like this, just whether it's for yourself or for your family, Jon, I'm just wondering, Jennifer, how you feel about your dad now having accomplished this and now sustaining this, and Jon, how you feel about Jennifer having been your support system, your inspiration, your other daughters, whatever. I kind of am looking for a gush fest between the two of you, but I'll ask it just because I think it's so genuine, and it's been really important to getting you to this spot, Jon. So Jennifer, why don't you start? Just share with us the pride you have in your dad, maybe how it's brought you closer, just watching him go through this and succeed in this.
Yeah, honestly, I've always been proud of my dad. I mean, he's been an amazing provider and father for us for my entire life. And it's just amazing to be able to do something like this with him and watch him go through it. And I'm so proud of him. And I'm honestly honored that he allowed me to be a part of the journey, and that I'm allowed to sit here today and to sit in on meetings, and that I don't know, that he lets me in enough that I can, kind of be annoying sometimes and be like, hey, how many veggies did you eat today? Hey, like how much what, and it's a special thing that I feel really fortunate to be able to have that kind of bond with my dad, because we all want each other to be healthy, because we all have a lot of life that we want to be a part of for each other. And I'm expecting baby girl number 1 in February, and
Oh,
it's just one of those things where it's like, this is cool. Like, I am so thankful to have this bond with my parents, because it helps me learn how to be a parent, and it's really special, and we're just really proud of him, and just we knew he could do it, and he did it, and he's still doing it.
that's really well said, John.
Yeah, I can't say much different than what you said. Marnie, we're Germans, so we're not a gush fest. You may have to go to the Italians or something for that. But I will say that the program was great, and the one-on-one coaching was the one single thing that made the difference for me. I can't sit in a room with 40 people with one coach who I can't get any attention, and we're all different, right?
Right.
The coaches, and I've had a couple of them, some have been promoted and moved on, and that kind of thing, but every coach has been spectacular. They've been different in different skill sets, and they brought that to bear in my journey. And so that's been a special thing. And to have Jennifer to be able to share that with me has been wonderful, because I don't take great notes, and probably don't pay as much attention as I should to stuff. I always knew I didn't have to worry about it, because Jennifer had my back, and she would constantly be on my back, which is good. She had my back and she was on my back. But it was she made sure that I got to my goal and hit my goal. And I feel really sorry for some families that I read that aren't supportive, because I really have a lot of appreciation for profile members who are able to achieve their goals and beat their goals when they have no family support. But they've done it on their own, and they've done it with great coaching. I've done it on my own with great coaching, but I also had great support from Jennifer and the entire family, and that's been a fantastic thing. And like I said, there's a lot to live for. I don't no desire to croak anytime soon, because we got one grandbaby that came 3 weeks ago, a little boy, and now we've got a little girl coming in February. So a lot of stuff to do, a lot of things to do, a lot of work things to do. So yeah, life is exciting, and I feel I can do it better now because I'm in a lot better health. And Marnie, you know what? People quit telling me how big I am. They tell me how tall I look.
Oh, really?
Isn't that funny?
How tall are you?
I'm 6'5". But before I was so large that I was just large. And
We're big.
as I thinned up, people, they don't talk, they just talk about, even though I'm still big, they talk about how tall I am.
Oh, because that's what they see.
Yeah, I think that's fascinating. That's been one of the more interesting things that I've noted, which is great, because I'd rather be talked about as tall rather than big.
I think we all would, honestly. Fascinating. Well, you two, you're an absolute joy, and I'm so glad you've had each other. It seems like it has made all the difference for you, John. So thanks, Jennifer, for being that on his back and having his back.
Do one more thing. This is my signed sheet from our group. They all signed it, which is nice. And when the pandemic hit, my first box came to me because I couldn't go in the store to pick it up.
Yep.
And this was packed in the top of it. I don't know if you can make that out.
Pause, take a moment, and recognize all the good and light around us.
And this was on the top of the box. I mean, who does that?
Apparently your coach.
Yeah. I mean, well, the whole office.
What a nice touch. That's a really nice touch at a time where we weren't very personal with each other.
Well, then that's why I put it in plastic. I've laminated it, and I keep it in every day when I open my profile cabinet. That's the first thing that I see. But that's the kind of people that I've really had the pleasure of working with, and I've been really, it's been a wonderful experience.
Makes all the difference. Makes all the difference. Thank you both so much. Thank you for sharing your story. You're just an absolute delight, and I wish you both nothing but the best.
Okay.
Thanks so much for having us.
Jon and Jennifer.
Stay warm in your sporting stuff you're doing this weekend.
Always. Thank you both. Take care of yourself.
Bye-bye.
Congratulations. Bye-bye.